In a quiet meadow, hidden between the whispering trees and soft rolling hills, lived a little unicorn. Her fur was pale like morning mist, and her mane sparkled with the colors of the early dawn. Each day, she wandered through the wildflowers, dipped her hooves in cool streams, and watched the clouds drift lazily across the sky. The little unicorn was gentle and kind. She liked silence more than noise, peace more than praise, and questions more than answers. While other magical creatures raced through the forest or played among the rainbows, she preferred to watch from a distance, always smiling, always dreaming. But deep inside her heart, she carried a secret wish. It wasn't for more glitter in her mane or for wings to fly higher. It wasn't for treasure or attention or even adventure. Her wish was something softer, quieter. She wished to feel like she truly belonged. Not just among the trees and flowers, but with the others. To have someone who truly understood her. To share quiet moments, to laugh without trying, and to simply be herself, without needing to shine. She never said it aloud. She never wrote it in the stars or whispered it into the wind. She simply kept it in her heart, where it glowed like a tiny hidden light. Every morning, the little unicorn watched the others gather in the glade. The fairies played games with glowing dust. The centaurs practiced jumping. The young dragons chased clouds. The unicorn watched with gentle eyes. She sometimes took a few steps toward them. But then she would stop and return to her favorite tree, the one with silver leaves and roots like open arms. She wasn't unhappy. But she often felt alone in the middle of everything. One evening, as the sun dipped low and the sky turned soft and gold, the little unicorn wandered farther than usual. She crossed the quiet field, stepped between two tall willows, and found herself beside a calm, moonlit pond. The water was still, the stars beginning to blink above. She looked at her reflection. Her eyes looked kind. Her horn glowed faintly in the fading light. Around her, the night began to hum. And then, from behind a stone, came a small sound. A rustle. A breath. A tiny creature peeked out, a young fox with fur like cinnamon and eyes like warm tea. He looked shy, unsure. Not afraid, just quiet. The unicorn didn't move. Neither did the fox. For a while, they just shared the silence. Then, slowly, the unicorn took a step forward and dipped her head in greeting. The fox blinked. Then stepped out into the open. They sat together by the pond. No words. No big smiles. Just presence. Just peace. That became a new part of the unicorn's days. Each evening, after the sun stretched and yawned across the hills, she wandered to the pond. And each time, the fox was there. Sometimes he brought a flower. Sometimes she brought a shiny pebble. Sometimes they just sat. She began to notice how he tilted his head when the wind changed. How he listened more than he spoke. How he smiled with his eyes more than his mouth. And in that gentle stillness, the unicorn's secret wish slowly began to glow brighter. One day, as they sat beside the pond, a soft breeze carried a trail of petals over the water. The unicorn and the fox both leaned in to watch. Their reflections shimmered side by side. And in that quiet moment, something clicked, like a soft note in a perfect song. She didn't have to shine to be seen. She didn't have to speak to be heard. She didn't have to ask to be understood. Because in the heart of someone kind, there is space for another heart to rest. From that day forward, the little unicorn didn't stop wandering alone. But she never felt lonely again. The fox was her friend, not because they did everything together, but because when they were together, everything felt gentle, real, and whole. And the secret wish she once held quietly? It became a quiet truth. She belonged, not by becoming someone else, but by staying softly herself. And under the silver leaves of the meadow, near the pond that shimmered with stars, the little unicorn's heart glowed warmly. Because sometimes, the deepest kind of magic is simply being understood.